Welcome folks to my channel, another very quick flight in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 using the FlyByWire A32NX in its latest experimental version, flying from Salzburg, Lima, Oscar, Whiskey, Sierra to Nurnberg, Echo Delta Delta, November. Cold and dark, actually. Yeah, let's power up this plane very quickly. Bring up the EFB. I have a really bad weather today here in Salzburg. Oops. So get some lights in. Alright, so this display is a little brighter now. Okay, so actually that's it. We have powered up the plane very quickly, so we can just now connect the pilot to ATZ window. Okay, this does not work actually, I don't know why.
Salzburg information Oscar, 1320 Zulu winds are 3.
So then just let's set up our FMZ. First of all, we need to synchronize here that with SimBrief, retrieving data from Salzburg to Innsbruck. So let's have a short look at the OFP to see how many fuel we need to have block fuel of 4413, so we can actually put this in our plane. So we have 47, that's great and fine. Can keep that. Alright. So we can set up the FMZ accordingly. Put our passengers in. We're just synchronizing with the SimBrief calculated data.
Boarding completed.
That's it. Do initialization of the flight. Coast index is 35 that I am always using. and go to get the current weather.
Ladies and gentlemen from the flight deck, on behalf of myself, your captain, the first officer, and cabin crew, I'd like to take this time to welcome you aboard our flight. We're just wrapping up some paperwork up front here and waiting to receive final numbers from the ground crew, then we'll be on our way. Flight attendants will be coming through the cabin shortly with a very important safety briefing. We do ask that you give them your full, undivided attention as they review the safety operations of this Airbus aircraft. We do appreciate your business having you aboard this flight. If there's anything we do to make your flight any more enjoyable, please don't hesitate to ask. Welcome aboard.
Alright, so what the weather here in Salzburg? We have winds from 320 with 6 knots. That means we are departing from runway 33. As you can see, rain, cloudy weather today. Okay. Then let's go and check our flight plan. So we are departing from runway 33 using this departure. Insert. And approaching Nurnberg, getting vectors to the ILS 28. Insert. Okay, let's have a short look onto the plan now. That looks great and fine. And that's it already. This short trip. Oops. Okay. So let's check the performance page. We are departing flaps 1 with a little pitch trim up 0.7. We have, what's the temperature in Salzburg? Temperature 0 degrees. That means we are having a 65 degrees flex takeoff, and we get V1 131, we get a V rotate 132 and a V2 136. And finalizing in the B page, we have 4.7 tons of fuel on board, and the rest we just take over from the initialization pages. Gives us a lot of extra time we do not probably need, but however, that's the setup. Let's get the clearance now. A Leipzig Air 4902 ready to copy.
Leipzig Air 4902 is cleared to Echo Delta Delta November. Fly the INR01A departure, with the INROM transition, then as filed. Expect departure runway 33. Climb to flight level 110 via the departure. Expect higher clearances 6 minutes after departure. Squawk 5424.
Leipzig Air 4902 is cleared to Echo Delta Delta November. Fly the INRO-1A departure, with the INROM transition, then as filed. Climb to flight level 110 via the departure. Expect higher clearances 6 minutes after departure. Squawk 5424.
Leipzig Air 4902 read back correct. QNH is 1007, contact ground on 128.3 when ready for pushback, enjoy.
QNH is 1007, ground on 128.3 Leipzig Air 4902.
Alright, that was the clearance. I just quickly call the taxi chart. Here in Salzburg. So alright, and this is the easy chat just pushing back. Let's get our pushback clearance. Leipzig Air 4902 ready for pushback and engine start.
Leipzig Air 4902 say again.
Leipzig Air 4902 ready for pushback and engine start.
Leipzig Air 4902 pushback and engine start approved.
Pushback and engine start approved. Leipzig Air 4902.
Cockpit to ground.
This is ground. Stand by. Okay, sir. The bypass pin is installed. All doors and hatches closed and all ground equipment is removed.
The parking brakes are set. You may lift.
Parking brake set. Lifting the aircraft. Standing by for pushback.
Cockpit to ground.
Go ahead.
We are cleared for start and push. Parking brakes set.
Okay, cleared for push start. Please release parking brake.
Parking brakes are released.
Commencing pushback. You can start the engines in sequence.
It will start in the sequence.
So we need to go with the tail right. Here from Salzburg. White starting our engine. Engine number 2 is up. Engine number 1 is just going to be fired up now. Alright.
Okay, pushback completed. Please set your parking brake.
Parking brake set.
Parking brake set. Lowering aircraft.
Ground. Startup is complete. You may disconnect.
Roger. Good engine start. Cleared to disconnect. See you at the side. Have a good flight.
Holding position waiting for the visual. Thank you and goodbye.
Alright. Have a good nice day. Bye bye. We are just waiting for our engine 1 to spool up in order to get the taxi clearance. Which is the case right now. Ignition off. APU off. Leipzig Air 4902 ready to taxi.
Leipzig Air 4902 taxi to runway 33 via taxiways Lima, Echo. Hold short runway 33.
Taxi to runway 33 via taxiways Lima, Echo. Hold short
Okay, they
runway
give us the
33
Echo entry.
Leipzig Air 4902.
So we do that. Do our flight controls check. Full right, full left, full up, full down, rudder right, and rudder left. And get the pitch trim to 0.7. That's fine. Auto brakes max. Taxi lights on. ground spoilers armed, flaps to takeoff configuration 1, and we are good to go. There's the EasyJet just departing.
Leipzig Air 4902 contact tower on 118.1. Have a good afternoon.
Tower on 118.1 Leipzig Air 4902.
Leipzig Air 4902 ready for departure, runway 33.
Leipzig Air 4902 winds are 336 at 6 knots, cleared for takeoff, runway 33 squawk 5424. Cleared for takeoff, runway 33 squawking 5424 Leipzig Air 4902.
Flight attendants, please prepare for takeoff.
Alright. Takeoff check is done, all green, no blue. Cabin is prepared, so we can just get out of this bad weather here. But I fear in Nuremberg the weather would not be much better than here. Alright, line up. V1, rotate. Positive climb, gear up.
Leipzig Air 4902 contact Vienna Center on 124.4. Have a good afternoon. Center on 124.4 Leipzig Air 4902. Center Leipzig Air 4902 climbing to flight level 110.
Leipzig Air 4902, good afternoon. Radar contact.
Alright, reaching a speed, flaps up, ground spotters disarmed.
2,500.
I'm back into the clouds. And the rain, and the snow, and what else. Alright, let's get the automation in.
Leipzig Air 4902, climb and maintain flight level 180.
Climb and maintain flight level 180 Leipzig Air 4902.
10,000, lights off. So this is a very short trip actually, so that means we can now already go and get the approach chart. Oops. Nurnberg approach, we expect the 28 ILS approach. Come on, yeah, it's on. Check the decision heights on there. Okay.
Leipzig Air 4902 climb and maintain flight level 240.
Climb and maintain flight level 240 Leipzig Air 4902.
Knowing that. This is gonna be a cloudy flight because we probably will nearly make it out of the clouds at our cruising altitude 240, but it will not take very long.
Air 4902 expect the ILS approach
Okay.
to runway 10 with the Apollo transition
Oh.
at Nurnberg.
Expect the ILS approach to
We have the
runway
10.
10 with the Apollo transition Leipzig Air 4902.
And the Apollo transition. Let's have a look at the weather in Nuremberg. You have winds 360 at 7 knots. That does not look. Let's update the weather to be sure. So we have Nuremberg. No, 0 to 6 knots wind. And it's fine for 10. Wind has changed in Nuremberg. That means we go on the runway 10 with the Apollo transition. Let's check the flight plan. That looks good. Out of the clouds, just reached the cruising altitude. It's the wrong one. This is the latest one. Nuremberg winds 020 with 6 knots. We have a QNH of 1010 and 2 degrees Celsius is the temperature. Broken clouds at
Leipzig Air
4,500 feet.
4902 contact Munich Center on 120.65. Have a good afternoon.
Center on 120.65 Leipzig Air 4902.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again from the flight deck, your captain speaking. We've just reached a cruise
Center
altitude
Leipzig
for
Air
the flight.
4902 and flight level 240.
Keep your feet elbows clear from the aisle.
Leipzig Air 4902, good
Cabin
afternoon.
with galley card shortly.
Radar contact.
Also, one more reminder to please refrain from congregating with the front galley where the flight deck door is located. Thank you.
We have some traffic in front of us. Okay, so on this short trip, lean back, get some coffee from the flight attendants and take a chat with... Oh, there is no first officer on there. Unfortunately, there is none. Oh, okay. Anyway. Okay, it takes us to enter this destination data. It asks us... So we do that actually. We have QNH in Nuremberg is 1010. Temperature was 2 degrees. And the wind is 20 degrees with 6 knots. And the decision altitude, we are ILS approach, Class C aircraft, 1280 feet barrow. So that's it. So we have to go down to 4,000 feet, which is our final approach altitude in Nuremberg. And the top of descent is marked on here, so a little time to go because of the transition that we got from the ATZ. It gives us a little more time to descend. And yeah, let's see what the ATZ advises us. By the way, this is the experimental version of the FlyByWire A32NX, which just shortly now introduced the VNAV functionality, the vertical navigation, which works very great. I already tested it before. So that gives us now a top of descent calculated point, a top of climb, and all the constraints that are now calculated into a vertical navigation profile. And I must say, this is a long-awaited feature in this aircraft and in this add-on, and it works very well. Get some fixed rings in for our approach.
Leipzig Air 4902 maintain flight level 240, descent and maintain flight level 190.
Maintain flight level 240, descend and maintain flight level 190, Leipzig Air 492.
Okay.
Leipzig Air 492 cleared for the ILS approach to runway 10 with the Upala transition.
Cleared for the ILS approach to runway 10 with the Upala transition, Leipzig Air 492.
Leipzig Air 492 maintain flight level 190.
So we got our descent.
From the flight deck, ladies and gentlemen. As we have noticed, we have begun our initial descent down.
That's what we did.
Now would be a good time to wrap up any business you need to take care of as we prepare for our approach. If you are up, once you return to your seat, we ask that you remain seated till the aircraft arrives safely at the gate. Flight attendants, please prepare the cabin for a ride.
Yeah, that's it. We are got the descent instruction now. Yeah, going into an altitude intervention mode. That's what the aircraft is doing when starting the descent before the calculated top of descent point. That means it gives us a very smooth and low descent profile with a descent rate of 1000 feet per minute in order to catch the vertical navigation profile later on again. We already have some constraints in here on our transition, so some speed limits and also some height restrictions. That is automatically now considered by this VNAV profile. Let's go to the open descent profile to get us down a little quicker, actually. I don't know if we already got some new descent altitude from ATZ. I did not mention, or I did not heard something. Let's check on. Let's hope. We wait until we get something different. Otherwise, I need to get a little bit more quicker down now. Temperature is a little bit high in the cabin. Oops. Let's reduce it by some degrees, and also in the cockpit. So here comes the speed restriction with 240, and oh, we have some ground view. Look on that snow on Germany. It's snowy and winter weather. So this VNAV implementation is, I think it's still in the experimental phase, first introduction now, and I still don't trust it 100% actually, to be sure. So yeah, from time to time I let the plane, let's say, descend a bit quicker. I think we are a little bit too high, but yeah, that's why I put in the speed brakes, to get a little faster descent. Another speed restriction, 220 knots. And we need to get down a little quicker. So snowy scenery here in south of Nuremberg, southwest of Nuremberg. That's the main reason why, by the way, I switched from Explain 11 to Microsoft Flight Simulator 20 Render, because of look at these clouds and look at this scenery. What else can you say? It's basically just eye candy, and yeah, I really loved it. And as at least this plane here now has reached a mature level of the simulation dev, the switch is easy now. And possible also. Also, the VR implementation of Microsoft Flight Simulator is got better actually in the past, and in the last few updates it really got better. There is still this VR control implementation, is a very basic one, not comparable with the one that Explain 11 is providing. Anyway, it works, and it works great, and it works fine for what it shall be, so nothing to complain about it. Okay, get some speed down. Flaps 1. Flaps 2. Bring the lights back on. I really need to go down now, otherwise So from my impression, the VNAV would have guided us way too high for that approach, so that's why I need to put in the vertical speed manually mode now to bring us a little more below the glide slope in order to catch it correctly. We can reduce the descent rate a little bit. And bring in the approach mode. Go for the approach phase also on the FMZ. Was 1010 in Nuremberg. So we can keep the 5000 until the localizer, the glide slope has been catched from the autopilot. Runway is already there in sight. We don't have any traffic before us, after us, so clear to land. And as soon as we have captured your localizer and the glide slope, we can let the tower know that we are clear to land. So we are on the glide slope right now. Field in sight, Leipzig Air 492. Runway in sight, Leipzig Air 492. Nobody is answering us. Maybe pilot to ATC is stuck. Sometimes that happens, but yeah, however. I think we already got the clearance for the ILS approach, and that should be fine now. There is no DME, that means we do not see the distance on the localizer here and to the airport. That's why I put this fixed ring in with a 6 mile radius to have a rough idea in which area the gear shall be raised down. Yeah, latest at 2000 feet above ground.
2,500.
Oh, okay, so it's looks like it fits quite well with that 6 mile ring to be at 2000 feet above ground. Okay, gear down, back to managed speed mode. Flaps 3 and flaps 4. So we are fully configured now.
$1,000.
Autopilot off, and the rest is just manual flight.
500. 400. 100 above. 300. Minimum 200. 200. 100. 50. 40. 30. 20. Retard. 5.
That's very difficult to see the exit, to be honest. Okay, I think it's in here. Let's see here already. Okay, transponder off. Flaps up. Let's check for a slot in the gate. Let's just take to gate number 10 here. Oops, up. This is when looking upward while steering the aircraft. Okay. Okay, that's it. Parking brake set. APU is running with the bleed on and the engine's off. Okay, then let's get a passenger bridge. Services, connect to jet bridge. Oh, this does not work. Maybe because the engine is not fully off. Oh, it is. Oh, no. Now it works. Okay, so we can disembark the passengers. That's it for this short flight. I hope you enjoyed that, and I'll see you soon on that channel. Have a nice day. Bye bye.